one thing I want to bring up is Las Vegas homes and what's happening here. So we see a lot of properties happening in this market where you're seeing a lot of price reductions. You know, I have listings. It's not great right now to list your home, but you have to adapt. Buyers know this. Buyers are coming in knowing they're going to come in and try to either get us some sort of a deal or try to offer maybe getting closing costs. This is this market. We're heading into a buyer's market right now. We have over double digit, 10,000 plus properties here on the market. And across the country, right now, the U.S., 21% of home sellers have dropped their asking prices in July. That's a big deal, right? Because people know, you look at Idaho, you look at Denver, Salt Lake, all 50+% droppage in listing their home of what they originally sold it for. And you're seeing these prices being slashed. Also, mortgage applications are down across the board, right? You see a lot of these mortgage companies, we talk about this to nauseam about mortgage applications and mortgage companies, they're suffering. They're laying people off. I talked to my appraiser guy who's coming on next Tuesday. He's down 60% on some of his production. Wow. So that tells you a lot, right? I mean, we have Doug that comes on the show all the time that does home inspections, but when you're down 60%, that's probably the same thing for mortgage lenders. Let's just be honest, right? And so lenders, real estate agents, it's a really tough market. And you see a lot of properties just sitting now because I think buyers want to get that deal. Now they know that they're in the catbird seat, right? They're in control.
Yep.
And so, Vera, talking with you, you just bought a house. You're in another contract with your family. What do you think about this housing market happening right now?
It could go either way. Obviously I'm not an expert. I always lean into, the professionals here on the show, all of the agents. So what I say is for entertainment purposes only. We bought the house. I think the great thing is when we bought, it was right before the interest rates rose. So, we got into that deal. Dan helped us out with that. Joey helped us out with that. And we did build a lot of equity because it was a new build community. And then the phases as they go out, the price goes up.
Speaking of builders, I want to bring this up. So builders have stopped building. It's because there's too many months of supply. That's a death sentence to builders, right? You're 10+ months supply on the market right now across the country, not here in Las Vegas, but across the country. And what that says is that builders just have too much inventory. They're not going to build. We talk about this all the time on the show. You bought at the right time because you built equity. Would you buy in today's market if you had the same opportunity buying a new home?
The same opportunity with the current rates and numbers?
Current everything. Would you still buy?
I mean, I think for buying a house, it's if you qualify for it. I think that's the best time to buy is when you qualify to buy a house and you need to buy a house because you need a place to live. If it was me in this current market, if I had the cash to buy a house, I think I still would, because the caveat is in at least how my attitude about buying a house is, you hold it for the long term. If you're holding it for 5 to 10 years, 5, 7, 10 years,
I agree,
you will be fine. Let's talk about the people who, bought in 2007. If they held the 5 to 7 years, they'd break even or even more.
Why do you have consumer confidence? So here's my thing. So there's a lot of people watch the show. And guys out there, thank you so much. Subscribe, like the channel, please, as you're watching this. If you guys like the content. Now, a lot of people watch the show and they see realtors come on and go, it's the best market still. Go buy. Is it really the best market, right? Is it really a market where I'm going to buy into with that confidence, consumer confidence that says, man, if I buy this house, I know I'm getting a return? Because there's a lot of skepticism. There's a lot of people detracting from buying into a house, and they're just hoarding their money. Even though they're back in the market, they're hoarding their money.
That's true.
So what are you going to do? Would you buy into the market knowing where the confidence is at and where rates are at today? Because that is I don't know. For me, I can say I would probably do it, but I would really have to look at the data and the numbers to say, do I really want to go in on this market?
Of course. Yeah. Even when the market was great, when you buy something and you knew that was going to appreciate and you'd go off, I'd always look at the numbers. Does it make sense to buy? Am I qualified to buy? Do I have the money to buy? So the only difference is the market is what it is. I think for what you said, they go into this attitude where they want to buy a house and they know they are going to get a return, or they hope they get a return. I don't think that's the right approach. For me, it's if you're going to hold long term, if you're going to buy this house and you're going to live there for a while, that shouldn't be your first thought of I'm going to make money off of this. But if that is, and you want to time the market that way, then it can go either way and you might put yourself in a situation that you won't like.